Hello and welcome to Education Today. I'm Jonathan Zish, School and Community Relations Coordinator for the Armstrong School District. First, I'd like to thank everyone at WIUP-TV for airing this broadcast. Today we're going to talk about Black History Month and some of the ways that it's taught at Armstrong School District. Our guest today is a fourth grade teacher who has made a tremendous Black History Month display at his school since the late 1980s. He is the well-known and well-liked Steve Hefner, currently a teacher at Lenape Elementary School in Manor Township. Steve, thank you for being on our show.
Thank you, John.
I applaud your efforts.
Appreciate
you very much. That. Would you just like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I grew up in Ford City and lived here in Armstrong School District, Armstrong County for basically most of my life. I went to Ford City High School, graduated. From there, I went to Fairmont State and graduated. Actually, I transferred and went to Westminster College, and then got out of college and actually got into teaching. And so I'm teaching in Armstrong School District.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you. Before we start our discussion, we have a special treat for the viewers. We have some footage about the Black History Month display that you put up every February at Lenape Elementary School in the lobby. Would you please narrate this footage as it rolls?
Well, basically what I've been doing over the years is I finally got a hold of an artist who's really good on drawing people, pictures, and named David Roman, who actually graduated from Ford City High School. We talked about how I could actually get a display together where I could have various people that made a major impact in American history. And so we picked such as Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, we did Jackie Robinson, Muhammad Ali, and I'm adding on to it as I go. We did Chubby Checker, and had one of him also, who was a part of a music culture.
Sure. I understand these are life-size characters that are in the lobby for all students to see,
Right.
And I think that's tremendous. What was the origin of this display?
Well, when I was out at Shannock Valley and I was teaching third grade, the idea when the school district was actually wanted to have Black History Month being celebrated in the district, the idea came to myself to come up with this idea of having the different people that I mentioned on display so that the students could actually see who these people are or were. So I started off with I started off with Martin Luther King, and then I just added on to it and came up with some other characters that I mentioned.
In all, could you estimate how many characters there are when the display is fully done?
I have right now about 15 of them actually.
That's amazing. Yeah. How do Lenape Elementary students react to the life-size characters? Any examples of that?
Well, there's funny things about it. Is when we put up the display, the people who actually walk through the school actually would see these characters and wasn't sure that they were really life-size or if they were for real, because he did a fantastic job on making them real.
Sure did.
But the kids really, they were really fascinated by them. It's kind of nice that when they come by and they actually start looking at them and asking questions about the different ones. The teachers even compliment and say that they really appreciate that that we have such a display for the students.
Sure. What is your goal in setting up this display every year?
I just the idea just to show that there's of our American history, that there are vital people that played a part in our American history as far as blacks, and with the idea of having the material that and having the talent that I've ran into as far as Dave Roman, where we could actually bring it out in public.
Yeah, that's tremendous. When the students walk by in the lobby, how do they get the message that these life-size characters are important in Black history?
Well, I have on the characters a little bit of history, a little bit of information about them, and then we try to get the teachers to share that with the students so they know exactly who they're looking at and the various characters standing in the stand-ups.
Okay. What else do you use in your classroom to teach about Black history?
Well, with in our curriculum, we have in our reading book the one story about teammates, which actually deals with Jackie Robinson, and it's a real nice story about how Jackie Robinson was trying to wanted to be playing a major league, and he got an opportunity to play by being approached by Branch Rickey. And he did get, you know, his history knows he made it on a play for the Brooklyn Dodgers. But I myself have this with Muhammad Ali and the displays that I've given out, that I had put up with when Martin Luther King. I actually had the students actually get them to know his memorable speech that he made, you know, the Free at Last speech, and try to get them to pick out the words of the speech that stands out in his when he's making that statement.
Okay. So there's the characters in the lobby. There's a book about Jackie Robinson and Pee Wee Reese, the Martin Luther King speech. What is the story about Pee Wee Reese and Jackie Robinson like? Why is that an important story during Black History Month?
Well, at that time, you know, there was a Negro baseball league, and then there was a white baseball league, and at the time, the Negro League was played. You know, they played in their own Negro League, had their own teams, and they played throughout the America. And finally, one of the Branch Rickey was the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers, and he wanted to. He actually wanted to go ahead and recruit some black athletes, baseball players, and Jackie Robinson was one of the ones that he had chosen, and he felt that he was one of the ones that would actually could take, you know, would be able to control all the different problems he was going to deal with. Yeah. And he did, and he made the team. Pee Wee Reese was a white ball player who really stood beside him and supported Jackie Robinson through all the times that he was going through trying to make it to the majors.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely owe a debt of gratitude to Jackie Robinson for what he did for America. In your own words, what are the pros and cons of having a single month dedicated to Black history? And in your mind, what would be the advantages and disadvantages if Black history was just interwoven into general American history?
Well, I think it's really already interwoven in a way. You can see now that we're a little bit more apt to accept ourselves as Americans, and we don't really try to identify ourselves as much as being black and white. The idea that we're, with the idea that the diversity, if we see a lot more diversity and sensitivity in what we do with each other as Americans, and I think that by some of the standards that we allow ourselves to, as far as breaking those barriers, and our kids in our area are getting along with each other. I see that when I went to school, it was a nice relationship with all the students, and I think that with American history, not so much Black history, but American history, that it all ties together. It all ties together.
What more could parents do, to explain to their children about the importance of significant Black historical figures?
I don't know if it's so much as far as the parents emphasizing, but it's just the idea that we've learned to acknowledge the fact that there is such thing as called American history, and that once you watch something on TV or if you hear about a name, that person is, we know we have different, our cultures and everything are intermixed in that, but it's just the idea that respect, that the people respect what each of us are trying to do, whether on a positive basis, for society.
Sure. At Armstrong School District, we do a variety of things to teach students about Black History Month. Just at, for instance, Katanning Township Elementary and Elderton Elementary, the classrooms choose famous Black individuals and study their lives. People such as Martin Luther King, Crispus Attucks, Shirley Chisholm, Ruby Bridges. But outside in the community at large, what more could we do as a community to promote Black history?
Well, I think that right now where, you know, we're acknowledging it more, and you know, even within the as far as in the curriculum, a lot of the books that we have in our libraries talk about, you know, all talk about Black history, about Black culture. Even the movies that you see where you're showing that there are Blacks that can play major roles in movies, and they're actually reaching those and getting those awards and getting their accolades for what they have accomplished as far as success as being a major actor or major actress. And then not only just in sports, but we're starting to, you know, they're seeing that there's so many different avenues that we've met. You know, we've actually went out and touched and did well with and show success.
Well, I'm going to turn it towards the personal nature now. For you, what was it like, you know, going to Ford City High School back in the 1970s? Was Black history taught then, and you know, were there any early pioneers at Ford City High School?
I don't really remember any Black history being taught when I went to school when I went to Ford City. I don't even really say that during the civil rights movement, a lot of things were going on that we only heard about it on the TV. It wasn't really a lot going on in our local community as far as the diversity, as far as the separation of Blacks and whites. Because we went to the school, the kids that I knew, we all got along real well. I mean, you know, I played basketball for Ford City, and it was nice. You know, it was just a nice atmosphere. You know, you never felt like there was any kind of a indifference that I ever remembered.
I've heard that a lot about Ford City. That just, you know, there were many different ethnic populations because of PPG,
right? And
it was really not an issue. And you know, I think that's a model to look up to. And one thing from when we were talking before, I understand that you were once in charge of a youth social hall that kind of illustrated that concept, where you had the chance to meet people from all over the world, different ethnicities. Can you give me some background on this, and you know, what did it teach you?
Well, what happened, I had tried to open up a youth center in Ford City in Armstrong area, and I had a actual hall where it was for teenagers to come in and to socialize. Well, at the time, they had all the foreign exchange students were supposedly going back home, and they were all coming to our area to meet, and then they were going to go to New York and head on back. So at the time when I had this hall, they approached me and asked me could they host this get together, and I got to, you know, all the kids from all over the world came, and what was so neat about it was the fact that we all sat down and actually just discussed about, you know, like all the kids shared their experiences as far as being a foreign exchange student, and they also talked about their different cultures as far as, you know, like things that they did that kids in America do, and we were just exchanging notes, and it was really amazing that what I got out of it, that we all looked at each other as one person, and the only way you knew that they were from a different part of the world is when they started speaking. You knew that they were from a different world as far as the, you know, country or whatever. And I thought that was really great, you know, that, you know, we actually had a chance to really meet that many kids at one time from all over the world at one time. From my experience, and I've always remembered that for a long time.
Yeah, it's like you had a little melting pot right there.
Yeah, right, that's right.
That kind of leads me to my next question about your youth summit that you're planning. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I really would like to, I'm trying to get together a summit where we can meet with all the different kids in all different, in the different communities of Armstrong County to talk about issues as far as what do they like about living in Armstrong County, and what were the things they don't like, and what things they would like to see in Armstrong County to help them to feel that where they're at, where they can accomplish things in this area, or if they go somewhere else, whatever they accomplish here could probably help them somewhere else. And I would like to hear the thoughts behind, you know, their thoughts, and try to see if we can, in our area, if we can do anything to help our young people feel good about where they're living. And because as they're young, they have to make a lot of decisions, and hopefully some of the decisions we could help them nurture them through those decisions by forming some little bit of a youth, have a youth rally and get them together and to talk about, you know, some of the things that they would like to see.
I think that's very positive, and you're to be commended for looking ahead like that. Do you know roughly when you'd like to have that summit? I don't know if a date's been set, but just like before the end of the school year?
Yeah, we want to try to get it together before, right around spring when the weather's nice, where we can get the kids to have a chance to get to. We want to have it at the Belmont complexes where I'm planning on having them meet, talk to one of the commissioners, and they were very in favor of helping, you know, support this.
Well, how about a number of students? How many do you hope to attract to the
Well,
summit?
if I could get like representatives from the different schools, you know, like different classes to come and represent like the freshman class or whatever else, have them come in, sit down like we're doing, and collaborate on a lot of different issues, find out where our kids' minds are at on things, and find out what they're looking for, is how, and maybe we could, as the adults and themselves, could work together to try to you know, to help them on some of those issues.
Okay. Well, do you have any other thoughts about either the Youth Summit or Black History Month that you'd like to share before we close today?
No, I just feel very glad that that I've been able to do something like this. It's something that I've been doing for quite some time. We've been adding, his name is Dave Roman, and we've been trying to add to this, to our display. My uncle Frank Tolliver, who was a former teacher in Armstrong School District, he himself actually was a pioneer of a lot of this display. He put it off in the Ford City Post Office. He used to put up a major display and every year for a Black History Month. And with him and myself, we kind of just added on to, you know, added on with the display, what he has and what I have, and it's gone, you know, and the people get a chance to see that.
Sure.
So I'm happy about that.
Frank Tolliver was
Frank
a teacher
Tolliver.
here at Armstrong School District for a long time.
Yeah, he taught at West Hills.
Okay. Well, Steve, let me thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time
very
coming out
much.
here to talk about this important topic. And that's our show for today. I would like to thank Ed Bauer. He teaches television production classes at Katanning High School, and his students were the crew today, and they did an outstanding job. I would also like to thank Dawn Swanson, who's our control room manager. Please join us again next week for another look at how Armstrong School District is on the move for you and the community. Have a safe and enjoyable week.